What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So it looked like Elle Duncan of ESPN could be coming to the defense of Sherly Swoops after her recent viral moment. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. So it looked like the Sherly Swoops saga still continues as Elle Duncan of ESPN weighs in on the situation between her and Stephen A. Smith on her recent episode of her podcast. Now, we know Elle Duncan has been trying to shred lightly when speaking about Caitlin Clark and Sherly Swoops because she found herself in some hot water a few weeks ago, was trying to set the record straight about the whole situation. One thing I would say is that, man, when you're looking at this thing through, the media perspective, you have to speak about the entire roster. You can't just come online and say that I'd rather speak about these players because I have a personal relationship with them, because that's exactly what Sherly Swoops put on Twitter yesterday, dog. She let it be known. She don't speak about Caitlin Clark pretty much because she don't have a personal relationship with her. Okay, none of us content creators have a personal relationship with Caitlin Clark, and you don't see us bashing her at all. To me, each time Sherly Swoops says something about the Indiana Fever, she just make herself look more and more like a hater. Now, I can understand Elle Duncan from trying to get online and trying to say every time somebody critique Caitlin Clark, it shouldn't be considered hate. I totally agree with you. But what Sherly Swoops is doing is targeting. She's targeting Caitlin Clark. She's hating on Caitlin Clark. And it's clear as day, she do not like the young superstar. With all that being said, let's check out what Elle Duncan said today on her podcast, Roll the Footage.
Year and calling out people for their perceived hate on Caitlin Clark. And as someone that has already stepped into this space and was called numerous names on both sides of this argument.
I apologize for that, by the way.
Yeah, stop tweeting at me. Just say
I
it to my
said sorry,
face,
Elle. Well, I haven't seen you in like 3 months.
I know, it's true.
Damn. So listen up.
I'm gonna present this argument.
Okay.
In that for people in the media, Caitlin Clark has become such a lightning rod that in many ways, I'm going to liken it to sort of Voldemort and Harry Potter.
Oh, you're not supposed to say his name.
Beetlejuice, right? Like,
do not say Candyman 3 times or I'm leaving.
Candyman. Candyman. Candy Girl. You are my world. It has become really difficult to figure out how to capture and talk about some of these conversations because the vitriol just follows. If you are very complimentary to Caitlin Clark, there's a function of the population that thinks that you're being mandated to say it and that you're trying to be safe and that you're trying to appeal to her and that you're trying to appeal to her fan base. If you say anything critical, you're a hater. And I will just say that we should also give a little bit of space and grace for the fact that it can be difficult to figure out how to address this topic when there is so much nastiness involved in it. Like, this is not your typical, like, is it Michael Jordan or is it LeBron James? This is not your, even what we heard, this week from Dennis Rodman saying that LeBron James isn't really that skilled and all he has is a layup, which is asinine, right?
I missed that.
Oh, he said that. He fully said that. Or your guy, Anthony Edwards, who's my guy. I love Anthony Edwards, saying that Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan because nobody else had any skill at the time except for him, and everybody is much more skilled now. Like, these are arguments that you can have and we can debate and we can be like, you're crazy, and we can.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Caitlin Clark topic is such a lightning rod topic that it can be hard to figure out how you're going to navigate it. And some people who have been on the receiving end of racism and threats and nastiness, you could understand might want to avoid the topic altogether. Now, I am a glutton for punishment. I don't mind it. I'll keep bringing it up because that's our job. And that's what we do as journalists, especially in this space. And because let's be real, she's the biggest storyline in the WNBA this year, amongst other very big storylines, but she still, in terms of mainstream, is the most important thing. I just want us to leave a little bit of space for that understanding as well, and know that trying to beat people to death over this view or this subject, trying to batter them, trying to attack them, trying to wait, I mean, we've got so-called quote unquote journalists just like laying in wait, ready to pounce on anyone who has any perceived hate, ready to attack them, ready to send their missives to attack you. And it can, to some people, feel incredibly daunting to the point where they just don't want to talk about it at all. So I'm leaving space for people like that, whoever they may be, that maybe have gotten to the point where they're like, I am damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't, I'm just not going to bring it up at all, and I'm going to focus on all the other storylines, because certainly it's not as if that narrative is missing.
I heard this before, and in my head, it makes sense. When you are at the top of a pyramid, you're exposed from all angles, and arrows will come from all angles. And I feel like because Caitlin Clark is at the top of this pyramid, the entire conversation is exposed. The entire conversation is a 360. I think some people have welcomed, maybe invited some of the vitriol that we're talking about that's getting thrown around. But at the end of the day, like, we had 700 and counting comments on our last episode about Caitlin Clark Rookie of the Year and the conversation for MVP. And I went through a really big bulk of them, and it was split. But I wasn't reading anything like egregious. And it's the internet. It's the comment section, Ellen. There was just a lot of people who are like, depending on what metrics you are looking at, Elle's right. Depending on what metrics you're looking at, Gary might have a point for the MVP thing. So I think it's par for the course, understanding that Caitlin Clark is a lightning rod in and of herself, like, onto the scene, boom, the WNBA, and is now leading SportsCenter.
That was Elle Duncan appearing on a recent episode of her podcast, pretty much making an excuse for Cheryl Swoops, man. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comment section right now. Do you guys think Cheryl Swoops is a hater, or do you guys think she just don't have a personal relationship with Caitlin Clark? That's why she treated her the way she do. It is what it is, man. Keep them bells on, because coming back with the news. And until next time, man, shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace out. Shake the haters off.